Hello everyone, so welcome to another video, another update one where I just go over my thoughts and everything about the project so far, and oh boy, I'm running low on sleep. I've only had like 4 hours recently, due to dealing with family and everything, so I'm gonna make this one relatively short. So fun times. I know there are a lot of people wondering what's going on with the project when I'm not posting on a almost constantly daily basis. Um, what's interesting for me is just at the moment at least, going over things and trying to use what time I have to write up stuff and not get distracted is pretty hard at the moment. Um, but when I do stuff, it almost feels like it is a massive undertaking. I know this sounds stupid because of the whole thing of, like, oh, I'm basically making a very long RPG game. Well, not exactly too long, but I'm making an RPG game into a movie. So, of course, it's going to be a lot of work. And I don't think personally I thought too much in depth about how much work that would be about certain aspects of it. As you can tell, like in some videos I'm like, oh no, it's fine, we got this. And in other videos I'm like, oh my god, this is so much effort. Um Either way, it's still fun. So where am I going with all of this? Well, all the effort so far is writing Frisk's reaction lines in Snowden. I I'm on the 17th page for interactions, notes, and funny dialogue for Frisk, reacting to all of the characters in the situation, bits of inner monologue, where they think to themselves and you can openly hear their thoughts. Um, it's it's pretty interesting how I'm on 17 pages, and that's just after we go to Grillby's with Sans at the beginning of Waterfall, and then we're going back to Papyrus's house now to check on Papyrus after the fight, and we're going to be doing the date scene, and then we're on to Waterfall, which will require me to then schedule a recording session to do Frisk's lines so that we have the ruins and Snowden recorded for Frisk, and then it's on to Waterfall. I think in the process of doing the notes for Waterfall in future, I'll write all the script lines out alongside actually just talking about the ideas that we do. I've gone through this in another video, but essentially I think that might streamline things rather than just taking notes, then going back, then watching things, and then writing them up again, because it just feels like it's taking forever right now. Um, Another cool thing about this is during all this time, I'm finding other creators that have made models in VR chat and stuff when I've been in rarely at the moment because I've been so busy. Um, but yeah, going into VR chat, finding some models, talking to people, and then going finding the creators of those models and asking them would they like to help is really fun. I am currently in talks and I suppose you could call it an art test. At the moment, an art test is where you tell somebody like, look, I want this model, whatever. Try and make it, see how it goes. And I've commissioned another character model for Waterfall specifically. Um, with the remaining funds that I've got. So hopefully, if that goes well, then I can then commission more characters, of which I've mentioned before, to fill out the underground. Again, it's that whole thing that I come back to that I said at the beginning of the project, which is a lot of these models you can't find anywhere online. A lot of people put out just certain popular ones, so of course you get the same type of animations. You don't get like a massive mix that really feel makes the underground feel populated. Um, so trying to do that is a big challenge, and trying to get hold of new models is a big challenge. But it's always fun talking to creators and just being nice and polite, and saying like, look, I'm doing this thing. Are you interested in helping out? I can give you money for it. And yeah, I'm getting some interesting responses so far. So hopefully that's going to go well. Again, to alleviate the stress on one of the modelers, I just don't want to overload them with work. So that's why I've been seeking out other people. So I'm not kind of um, loading everything on one person and stressing them out. But I think I've mentioned that before. Anyway, um, all of Sans' lines for Snowden are done now, thanks to Lofi, the voice actor for Sans, for doing those. I can't wait to do the rest of those. For like the rest of the game, in areas like I think it's Waterfall, I think maybe a little bit in Heartland, the Judgment Hall, and then the end, and then the True Pacifist route. Sans doesn't have as many lines as some of the other characters, like Papyrus and Alphys, obviously, but the lines that Sans does have are really impactful and stick with a lot of people. And I like the direction we're taking with Sans at the moment and making him a little bit more emotive. It's really nice to have him sound like he's got a little bit more emotion in his voice, because sometimes you can hear deliveries for people online and they just sound a little bit flat. I can understand why, but it seems like everybody kind of copies everybody else's impression or interpretations, so it's nice having a kind of little twist on it. Either way, it's cool. Still getting stuff done. Obviously, no 3D work at the moment. People have been worried about me since I announced that I was going to be doing more script work, saying, don't overwork yourself. And I'm not. I've taken a massive step back. There's hardly any 3D work been done since the demo for the core. So yeah, it's just been me taking it easy, doing the script work, contacting the VAs or some of the VAs and trying to get these lines done. My strategy for this year to tackle everything, so I'm not worried so much, is get Sans' voice acting done and totally recorded, and try and get Alphys' voice acting done, because Papyrus's voice actor, even though we've had like a curse with Papyrus where he changes voice actors so often, just because people get intimidated by how many lines Papyrus has and just the scale of the project. Even though Papyrus has been cursed, the current voice actor, Sailor, is doing a really good job, and I can contact them, I feel, relatively easy to redo lines or adjust things, so I'm not worried as much about Papyrus at the moment as I am about, obviously, Sans and Alphys, just to make sure they get done. And then I've just reminded myself as well, I need to check in and try and see whether we can also finish off Toriel and Undyne's voices, and then, or voice lines, and then after that, then I don't need to worry about any of the main cast. So that's my target for this year, is to get that stuff as soon as possible, really. But it's the thing is, everybody has their own lives and are doing their own thing and are very busy. So I've just got to not be so impatient. I get excited. The thing is, everybody sees the content and goes, wow, and you've seen it in all the videos where people go, wow, this is cool and everything. I get excited just thinking about the lines and everything and how they're read, and get excited about when I get to archive them all and then use them. So yeah, I'm excited as everybody else, really, but in my own unique way. Either way, stuff's going really good. I'm, again, working with other members of the community in terms of like modelers and stuff to try and get some really cool character models for you guys to look at and potentially use in some cases, because some of them I think might end up in VR chat. So that'll be neat to see. But yeah, new characters, a lot of script stuff, some neat cameos that are going to be cool, with familiar faces that weren't necessarily there before. That's all I'm going to say for that. And before anyone says not Gaster, I've had enough jokes about that. But yeah, lots of fun at the moment, and I can't wait, because essentially what I'm doing is making a entire tool set, or an entire archive of stuff that I can then use to piece everything together like building blocks and create this animation. It's a long process so far, and you've seen little bits of how I've messed around with this. I hope you enjoyed all the other stuff so far, and I can't wait to show you the next update, which I want to be really significant. I've mentioned before about how I want this to cover a lot of different areas, cover all of this voice acting that I'm excited about getting, and obviously just show everything off once it's all done. So it might be a while before there's another massive update. Until then, I'll try and keep you all updated with these smaller sort of things to make sure you know the project's still going, and I'm still working on it. It's just it's all work in progress at the moment. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. Anyway, that's like 10 minutes, so I'm going to get going. I am not going to keep you any longer. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much for your time. Bye.